Welcome to Tell Me More, the Allsteel podcast where design meets innovation and we explore the limitless potential of workspaces. In this exclusive series, we're peeling back the layers of workplace design. From the psychology of colors to the future of hybrid work, join us as we open doors to conversations with industry leaders, architects, and designers who redefine the modern workplace. This is Tell Me More, brought to you by Allsteel, because when it comes to designing the future, there's always more to discover. We are kicking it off live from Fulton Market Design Days at the Allsteel Experience Center at 345 North Morgan Street here in Chicago in our brand new podcast room. And we're excited. We've got a lot to talk about. We're going to be chatting with various individuals throughout the event who will be shedding some insight on their experience here at Design Days. And we're also looking forward to talking about all things new at Allsteel. We've been hard at work all year. Design Days is finally here, so let's talk about it. We'll start with a round table introduction, and I'll go first. My name is Chelsea Compton. I'm on the brand marketing team here at Allsteel, and I'm joined by three lovely ladies. And Mary Kate, I'll pass it off to you.
Hi, I'm Mary Kate Cassidy. I've been at Allsteel now for about 2 years. Actually, my first day at Allsteel was NeoCon, back when we were at Merchandise Mart. Yeah. So full circle now. This will be now my third Design Days, I guess, that we're doing. And I'm out of Chicago, so it's great to have Design Days here in my backyard. I am a business development manager at Allsteel, and I focus on A&D. So really listening to what architects and designers are needing, what they're working on, and collaborating at that level. I'll kick it off to Caroline.
Great. Thanks, Mary Kate. I'm Caroline Alexander. I'm a strategic account manager out of Boston. I've been with Allsteel for 12 years this summer. So this is 12 plus years at Design Days NeoCon. And I focus on large strategic accounts in Boston that are based in Boston, end user specific. And then I partner with A&D, CRE, OPMs, and all of our wonderful dealers in the city to support those clients.
Awesome. And I will wrap it up. My name is Tiffany Peebles. I am also business development manager, focusing on the public sector, so government, healthcare, and education in the Southeast region. Been with Allsteel for about 8 years now.
Awesome. All right, well, first things first, what are you most excited about for Fulton Market Design Days this year? What's the hype about? Can you shed some light?
There's lots of hype every year. I'm always excited to see the people. I feel like, it's always
connectivity.
People coming in from all over the country, people coming in just locally. Always really fun to see everyone.
Yeah, agree. Just always connecting with people, in person, face to face. It's nothing like, being able to touch and feel and shake hands.
Mm-hmm. It's nice putting a face to the name, too. I feel like there's a lot of times where you're working hybrid with someone, and I feel like this is the one event out of the year where we all get together and meet one another, and it's just very cool. So
yeah, it is.
Yeah. All right. One thing I'm curious about is what new trends or innovations are you looking forward to at Design Days? What do you think people might be talking about? Any thoughts?
Yeah, great question. I think people are looking for more innovative solutions. Things inherently have been done differently since the catalyst of change, which was the pandemic a few years ago. So we're all working in much different ways now. I think with that innovation, people are looking for adaptable solutions. Solutions that are able to integrate flexibility, more fluidity. Maybe, the day two solution is different from day one. So they're expecting those solutions to adapt with them. Something unique that really sort of meets the needs of a variety of different space types, whether it's those individual, those collaborative, those social areas, whether it's, a college or university, or if it's a corporate entity, it spans all verticals. I think a couple of good examples would be the new Admix table collection that we just recently launched at Allsteel. One unique feature about it has the telescoping leg base. So let's say, day one, you have, a group of users that are collaborating, 4 people at a table. And then, you have 2 more users join the meeting, and they can easily join on the ends of the table because that leg is able to move in and out easily and accommodate the comfort level of two additional users coming to the table, so to speak. Also, the interchangeable glide and leg. The interchangeable glide and caster base on the leg is a great feature because it really supports, again, that day two story if the needs change for mobility. So I think people are going to be looking for, innovative and really creative solutions that are really able to support that change that's needed.
Yeah. And I think, one big topic here at Also that we're talking about is this concept of the intentional office. So I'm curious, can you share in your own words, what does the intentional office mean to you? How would you define it?
I think I'm really excited because this design days, it's like I'm not hearing the return to office term as much. Like we're finally getting away from that. People are back. So it's like, to me, intentional office is, okay, well, not everyone's back, but people are coming back to the office. And why? What is the purpose, the true meaning of coming into the office? It's not just forcing your employees to come back and be in a shared space, but there's a reason why that's valuable to an organization. So I think, those casual collisions that happen with employees that you would never have at home, that's the true value of it, the true collaboration, fostering that culture of true innovation. Those are the things that just don't happen naturally. And I know organizations have seen the value of that. So I think that's what we truly mean by being intentional. It's really about, where does the organization want to be going next? Because I think when you're working hybrid or when you're working fully remote, it's so easy to just finish the task at hand, not think about where you want to be going in the next year. It's like the to-do list adds up, you get your job done, you have your team, you figure out what needs to happen in the short term, but where are organizations going in the long term? I think that's what it means to be truly intentional going back.
Yeah, and you touched on how that applies to organizations. What do you think about the intentional office resonates with the design community?
I think the design community was ahead of the game when it came to like understanding how true innovation works, because that's how design works. So the designing in a team from home, especially like during the pandemic, was very tricky. We were all able to figure out ways to make it work, but the true design ideas and the collaboration that you might not think of when you're kind of designing in a vacuum, maybe, that's what makes things really tricky, and you lose the value of that true innovation. So I think designers have gotten it from day one. It's not like we're saying that things weren't intentional in the past, but I think designers are probably ahead of the curve and can help us with the story of what it means to be intentional. And it's also the fun spaces. Like, that's why I'm excited working with A&D so much. These spaces, we're not only talking about the collaborative and the innovative spaces and the creative spaces, even though that is some of it, and those are the really fun spaces to design, but intentionally thinking about the focus spaces as well. It's really interesting for designers to use their power to kind of translate a client's vision and create a space that makes it the most productive and help them that way.
Love it. I've got a question for you, Caroline. What elements of the intentional office do you personally find most interesting?
I think two areas that really intrigue me are mentorship and collaborative, and they kind of go to hand in hand. I think partially because mentorship has changed so much. There's been turnover in leadership. There's been people working at home. There have been remote hires. And how are we truly working with one another, understanding the needs, coaching through when you're not in an office, right? And when I was a junior designer doing red lines, I was in the office overhearing my design manager on all of her phone calls. And you're sort of this sponge, organically taking in all this advice that's happening around you in the office. And when you're working hybrid or you're remote, you don't even know your teammates in the flesh. I think that's something that is really important to catch up on. And so that mentorship and how is it happening is, if it is hybrid, what does that connection look like? What does our posture look like? It always feels somewhat formal. And so adjusting how our bodies feel in comfort and choosing a different chair to have a more laid back conversation with our manager, I think is really important. And then the idea of bringing that into the collaborative, right? So again, like overhearing what's happening in your office, not knowing that you might be mentoring someone just by osmosis because you're talking about a situation that happened. So how can those two activities and settings really help to promote one each other?
Yeah. I totally resonate with that as like a junior designer, being a sponge, just picking it up. And I often think like, how would you ever know how to be a leader without seeing how leaders interact? You might not be invited to those meetings, but you're seeing just like how those meetings happen or how frequently they're happening. Or really
you're also kind of picking up on those unwritten rules too that no one really talks about, but you can see and mimic from others. So another question that I have is, how does the intentional office differ from traditional office design approaches?
Yeah, I'll take that one. First I'll say that there's really no wrong or right approach to that. Seeing that through the public sector lens, traditional, often we see that with, government agencies, right, where they're a little bit more conservative. That's sort of been the norm, I think, post-pandemic. But we've seen moving forward into more of this modern way of working now, the intentional office and how that's come to be. But with the traditional office, it's a little bit more static, a little bit more rigid, right? We've got more specific space types and more specific square footages and sizes for specific functions. It may also be based on hierarchy, right? We see that often in government agencies. So, like I said, it's still no wrong or right approach, but with the intentional office being a little bit different. It's more of a philosophy, right? It's more than just about that physical solution. It's really about creating a space that is going to adapt with the user's needs. It's more human-centric, right? More dynamic. Really focusing on the productivity, the creativity, and the well-being. It has to be all three of those elements. I think how it's done. It can be done through a variety of different work settings. The collaborative, the quiet focus, those socialization areas that are so integral a part of the culture.
What are the key benefits of adopting an intentional office strategy for organizations? Does anyone have any thoughts on that?
Sure. Yeah, I'll take that. I think, first of all, I think adopting the intentional office and even thinking through what intentionality really means with that is super important. So when you're doing something that's intentional, there's usually a good reason behind it. And so you get into this deeper level of the why. Why am I doing something? And why is it happening? And what can I do? So what are the action steps that we can take at that next level to really make it better? And I think, especially for our clients, the intentional office, as we're describing it, sort of has 6 pillars per se. So we're looking at focus areas, areas and opportunities for mentorship, innovation, collaboration, socialization, and also learning. And so I think the workplace has changed so much. Organizations, some struggle to stay afloat. Some change so much that we're wondering, where do we go next? What's changing? How do we do this the right way with our talent? And the whole pie might feel big, all those 6 things, but by even just sitting down and talking with our clients about, okay, which one of these 6 areas might be hurting the most? And then you get into that, asking deeper questions about why is that happening? Where is that happening? How can we change that? And then the pieces of that floor plan start to migrate a little bit based on how often people are coming to the office, how they're practicing hybrid work, if there is hybrid work. Some of the social settings that are going on. And so by starting to digest one area of that and think intentionally about how we might be adding more of that space, maybe taking away, changing what the furnishings and architectural products and ancillary technology pieces might be, feels a little more, I don't know what the word is, just tangible, right? That you can make those changes. And as we walk around our space specifically, we're talking a little bit about living in beta, that you're not going to design a space now and do one big event and then do another big event in 7 years or 10 years. We're taking these spaces and we're being thoughtful, we're pivoting, and we're trying something new, and we're experimenting. And there's nothing wrong with that, as long as you're taking something from it and moving it forward at the next step.
That was great.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was great. Okay, as we wrap up, what advice do you gals have for someone who might be visiting Fulton Market Design Days this week?
Well, first and foremost, you must come to 345 Morgan to visit Allsteel.
Shout out.
We'll be here.
Yeah, definitely check it out. If you weren't here last year, please, by all means, make sure you come in and check out all of the wonderful things with the Intentional Office and all of our brands and partnership brands, and just come experience it.
Yeah. I love all the hot pink going on throughout Fulton Market.
Right.
So I know there's tents that are set up. I would say make use of the freebies, the coffee, the ice cream that's going to be at those tents. I know we'll have one on our street to kind of direct people this way. It's a fun week for that reason, at least.
Yeah, it is. It's so smart. And to be mindful with your time. If you have 15 minutes, show me around your space. You can say, okay, what's important to you? What do you want to see? Let's go straight there and get into it. And as Tiffany mentioned, we have so many of our great partnership brands here today, experts in sustainability. We have a really great area set up there to talk through some of the innovations we're working through in that space.
Yeah, that's a really good point. There's we could talk for hours and hours. So what do you really want to see? Be intentional about it.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
All right, gals. Well, this was a lot of fun. Thank you for sharing some insight with me today. Stay tuned. We've got some more episodes coming up later this week. Thank you for listening to Tell Me More podcast.
Thanks.
Thank you.
That was fun.
Yeah, happy Design Day.
And that brings us to the end of another fascinating episode of Tell Me More. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of design and innovation. If you're hungry for more insights and stories, make sure to subscribe to Tell Me More on your preferred podcast platform. As we sign off, remember that the conversation doesn't end here. Connect with us on social media at Allsteel and share your thoughts, questions, or even your favorite moments from the podcast. We love hearing from our engaged and curious audience. Stay tuned for our next episode where we'll continue exploring the Design to Do More philosophy. Until then, thanks for listening. Welcome to Tell Me More, the Allsteel podcast where design meets innovation and we explore the limitless potential of workspaces. In this exclusive series, we're peeling back the layers of workplace design. From the psychology of colors to the future of hybrid work, join us as we open doors to conversations with industry leaders, architects, and designers who redefine the modern workplace. This is Tell Me More, brought to you by Allsteel, because when it comes to designing the future, there's always more to discover.